Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy and Linda. This one's good. Small claims court case, and the neighbor's name is Karen. One downside, the closing arguments gets cut off. They pull the stream. But it's clear who won this case. If you can't figure it out, read the comments. And stick around for the very end. A little funny video. Linda likes it. And I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, folks. George, you're going to be calling Belinda and Jackie as witnesses today as well?
I am going to be calling Jackie for sure, possibly Belinda.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get them both sworn in so we can get everybody under oath.
Okay.
Karen, if you'll both raise your right hand, and Belinda and Jackie, if you'll both raise your right hand. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, each one before this court, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give that it'll be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Bella. Counsel, well, that y'all did discuss, you're unable to work the settlement. You're asking me to hear this case today. The way I kind of operate is just like we're in any other court with an opening and closing statements and each side to present their case. If Ron and or Karen want to waive opening statement, they're more than welcome to, and we can go straight into their testimony after you present an opening statement, as well as the opportunity for cross-examination of Ron and Karen if they do give testimony this morning in reference to the case that they brought before this court against your clients. Then, of course, we'll do the rebuttal and any closing statements as well. Is there any question on any party before we get started?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. Ron and Karen, who's going to give an opening statement this morning on behalf of y'all's following?
I think we're going to waive it.
Okay. George, is there any opening statement you wish to make on behalf of your clients?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, if you would, sir, go ahead.
Your Honor, my clients purchased the property in June of 2024, so they've owned this property for almost a year and a half. They had initial contact with the Bellas as their neighbors. The property address is in Joshua. It's a property located, and I have filed 6 exhibits in the case. The first exhibit is a Google Maps view of the 2 properties that identifies the plaintiffs and the defendants' properties. There was a series of text messages between the parties related to neighbor issues and complaints about matters related to chickens and mud. There was a large flood in July of this year, 2025, that caused a creek that runs from south to the north across the Bella's property onto my client's property. That flood pushed a lot of debris from across to the south, from the Bella's neighbor to the south, over the Bella's property, onto the fence line and onto my client's property. It damaged the fence along the creek. And the plaintiffs contend that my clients damaged that fence along the creek with some mowing equipment, with a tractor or a brush hog. But apart from the plaintiff's testimony, there's no evidence that that happened. My clients deny that that happened. So it's a disputed fact of whether my clients damaged the fence or the flood event damaged the fence. In addition, the Bellas complained to Johnson County about my client's use of their property, and there was a floodplain citation and an environmental citation. Investigators came out to my client's property and spoke with case managers. I'm not sure investigators is the right word. Spoke with my clients. Jackie Lopez is the daughter of the plaintiffs, Javier and Belinda Ortega, and she and her husband live on the property as well. The county representatives worked with the Ortegas to clean up the floodplain complaint, and there's currently no citation. They're in the process of cleaning up the environmental complaint, and there's another inspection scheduled for tomorrow out at the property to see that they are continuing to clean up that environmental problem on their land. And it's storage of building materials, construction materials, lawn and tree maintenance type materials. My client spent a large amount of money building a 6-foot wooden privacy fence for a large stretch of the common property line between the plaintiffs and the defendants, and spent a large amount of money building additional hurricane or chain link fence for a length to repair a barbed wire fence and attempt to maintain a decent fence boundary. However, the Bellas contend that this mowing incident caused the damage to the fence line down at the creek area. We attempted to work out a resolution during the breakout rooms. The repair at issue could be very low monetary damage. We don't have an exact monetary damage number, but there are strong personalities on both sides that wish to have this matter presented to the court for determination of who is liable for the fence repair. It is my contention that my clients are the good neighbors in this relationship. They are not bad neighbors, and that the plaintiffs are trying to extort money from them by making an allegation that is untrue. That is the summary of the defendant's case, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Ron and Karen, if y'all present your case at this time, please.
Ron, did you tell them what happened on the fence line?
On the fence line, Your Honor, I was back there and watched a gentleman on a red compact tractor. He was brush hogging. He was going backwards. When he turned to the right to leave the area he was in, the brush hog grabbed the fence and the T-post and all went over with the fence when he left. Probably didn't even notice it till he stopped and looked back. I stood there and I seen it. They're saying that their people, their employees, they wasn't down there, they didn't see it. I did. All I'm asking for is for them to fix the fence back like it's supposed to be. We have sent letters. We have emailed. We have done everything we know to do. We have no response at all from them other than to go to court and try to get justice. I want my fence fixed back like it was. There's goats coming from the other side of their property onto my property, and that fence was fixed back. It wouldn't be on my property. They can leave them on their property as long as they want to, but I don't want them on my property. And it's because this fence is down. The rain that we got did not hurt the fence because the fence was bent down before it rained.
Anything else, sir?
There has never been any communication between us and them. We have notified them numerous of times by emails, by text. They never respond. No way, form, or fashion. They built a 25 by 25 foot building on their property, and this wind blowed it over on top of my carport. We asked them. My wife called her. She wouldn't answer. She texted her. She wouldn't answer. We had to call Johnson County out here. He spoke with her, but she wouldn't speak with us at all. Well, all we wanted to do is get the building back over on their side. And her husband, she said that her husband was out of state, but he was the one back there helping the guys move it. Never said, I'm sorry, I apologize, or nothing. Never said a word. So it's making us out look like the bad guys. We're not. We want to be good neighbors, but as of now, there's no communication. They will not communicate. They have slung mud all over our RVs with their commercial trucks, all over my zero turn, all over my lawnmower. Their chickens come over here and dig holes in our mulch around our RV. We've asked them to come fix it. Never hear a response. Never. Now they're big Rottweiler dogs coming over here and doing his business on my carport. And she says he's chained up, but he's not. I got pictures of him. We have cameras around our home. We've got pictures of him coming over here and doing his thing. No communication. Things go bad when there's no communication. I don't like this. But they're not assuming to do what we asked them to do. So now we've got to figure out who's at fault and who's going to fix the fence.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, I have to say, it is a matter of non-communication. This could have been handled months ago between us, but no communication when they won't answer the phone, answer a text, an email, certified letters that are not claimed. And how are we supposed to communicate if they don't respond? So then it forces us to do something like this. This could have been handled so easily, and the friend and the neighbor relationship could have been handled. But when there's communication on one side, it doesn't work. That's all I have to say.
George, do you have any questions on cross-examination?
I do, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm going to share my screen and pull up what's been file marked as Exhibit 1. Can you see that, Your Honor?
Okay, I can see that, and I'm actually looking at exhibit number 1 in your petition.
Mr. and Ms. Bella, can you see that share screen?
Yes,
That exhibit 1?
yes,
Yep.
And can you see my cursor in there moving?
yeah,
Okay. At the top of page 1 of this exhibit, there's a handwriting note that says Karen and 1 tract of property and Javier and another tract of property. Do you see that?
yes,
And so both your properties are long rectangular strips of land that are next to each other with a long common property line with a creek running across both of your properties. Do you see that?
yes,
And that creek runs from south to north across your property and onto the Ortega's property. Is that true?
and past, yes. It doesn't stop on their property.
The next page is a drawing that shows a markup of a flood zone in the 2 properties, and you can see the creek that is where my cursor is and running from left to right on this exhibit, which is actually south to north. Is that correct?
Yes,
The next page that I'm showing is marked A, and if you go back up to page 1, there's an A with a circle located at the creek. Do you see that? Where my cursor is?
yes,
Okay, so if I go back to that photo A, that photo shows a T-post in some brush that is leaned over into the brush. And on the left of that photo is a very well mowed piece of property that is your property, and the brushy area is the Ortega's property. Do you agree with that?
yes,
The next photo is also of A, but it's turned sideways. And in that photo, you can also see a T-post laying on the ground at that location A over onto the Ortega's property. It's where my cursor is. Can you see that?
no,
No, I don't see none.
Can you not see my cursor moving on that photo there?
I see your cursor. I see something metal. I guess you called it T. I guess it's a T-post. I just see something metal.
Okay. That left side of that photo, which would be at the top if it were oriented correctly, is your property where my cursor is. Is that true?
Where it's neat and clean, yeah, that's our property.
Okay. The
Counsel,
next photo.
Counsel, can you back up to that picture you were just at, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you rotate that picture to the right?
Yeah, I'm getting dizzy looking at it.
This is a PDF of a file marked exhibit, and I don't know if I can rotate it. There may be a feature here somewhere where I can rotate.
Hit that right there. Rotate with that.
Can you see that, Your Honor?
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Now
Okay.
All right.
This-
Now, Mr. and Ms. Bella, where counsel's talking about, counsel, would you show where she is, or you just explained on that T-post?
Go down. Look at it.
Okay, I see it, and it's leaning over on our side.
All right.
Which, okay, go ahead.
All right. Thank you, counsel.
Well, Ms. Bella, where my cursor is on this photo that has brush on it, that's the Ortega side.
Cannot understand you. You're breaking up really bad.
Where my cursor is on this photo, where the brush is the Ortega side. Do you see that?
That's right.
Yeah, the brushy side is their side. Yes.
And on the right side is the mowed part, and that is the Bella side. Is that right?
The clean side, yes.
And down at the bottom of that photo where my cursor is a metal T-post laying on the ground on the Ortega side. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go to the next photo, and then I'm going to rotate it a couple of times, counterclockwise once. This is also at location A, and it shows notes on that page: Karen's property, tree limb on the fence. Do you see that photo of that tree limb on that fence?
That's
Yeah.
on your, that's on the Ortega side.
Yes.
Well, on the bottom left of that, there's a piece of barbed wire. Do you see that?
Yes.
And there's a few more strands of barbed wire on the ground at the bottom of that photo. Do you see that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so this limb or this branch or this trunk or whatever is laying on the fence line. Do you see that?
Yes. From the Ortega side, they
Yeah.
put it back there.
From their side, not ours.
Okay, this picture A is also a picture looking at that tree trunk that's laying on top of the fence wire. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's your contention that my clients put that limb right there on that fence line. Is that right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When
And
they
this-
was bringing in all them big rocks and dirt, filling in all that land back there,
they shoved it over there on that fence. Now, it was back. I didn't see them, but they're the only ones back there.
Okay, and where my cursor is looks to be some gravel. That's the creek bed. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Here's another photo that shows the fence down on the ground. That's the property line, and that's the picture of the creek bed. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
This next picture, I'm going to need to rotate.
No, you turn it sideways.
Okay, this picture is at location B. So I'm going to go back to page 1 so that we can see where location B is. There's a B right there on that page, which is next to a long cylindrical barn. Do you see that? Or not cylindrical, rectangular barn. Do you see that B?
Yeah.
Right there? Okay.
Mhm.
All right, this picture B has handwritten notes on it. Karen's property, flow of water, push T-post down. There is your property that's been mowed, and here is unmowed property that is the Ortega property. Do you see that?
Yes.
And do you see in this photo, there's a T-post that is laid over with fence line onto the Ortega property. Do you see that?
Yes.
The next photo, I'm going to rotate. I'm going to rotate again. The note says, and I apologize, I'm going to have to move my zoom. The force of moving water in this flood zone trapped debris and the tree limb and pushed the T-post down. Do you see that note?
As I said before,
Yes, we see that.
this happened
Yes.
before the flood.
Yes, we see that note.
Okay. Here's another picture, which is page 14 of Exhibit 1, that shows debris and weeds getting stuck and the fence being pushed down onto the Ortega's property. Do you see that?
Correct.
This post,
After it was damaged before the flood.
well, I'll get to the timing of it when we ask questions about these photos. I'm just trying to go through them quickly, okay? This is page 15 of 20. This is also at location B. This shows a T-post leaned over onto the Ortega's property. Do you see that?
Yes.
You're showing the same thing over and over.
Well, this is at location B, not location A. It's a different location. I'm going to rotate that. We're almost done with this exhibit. This picture, which is page 16 of 20, is marked with a C. That's at C location. So I'll go back to page 1 and reorient everyone to location C on the aerial map. Do you see that C right there at the top of that page?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to page 16. This is a photo taken of the Javier's property at location C. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And again, here's another picture, page 17, which is a photo of the Javier property at location C. Do you see that?
Yes, but what does it have to do with the fence?
I'm just identifying the exhibit and the location on the property. Okay, we're almost done.
Okay.
Page 18 of 20 is also at location C. I'm going to go back to page 18. Page 19 is also a photo of the Javier's property. And that's the end of exhibit 1. So I'm going to go back to my Zoom and I'm going to stop share. You saw those photos in exhibit 1, did you not, Mr. and Miss Bella?
Yes.
You saw those pictures of T-posts that are leaned over and pushed over onto the Ortega's property, did you not?
I saw T-posts that were pulled over onto the Ortega's property. Not pushed, pulled.
You saw T-posts that were leaned or leaning over onto the Ortega's property in a brushy area, right?
Yes,
As she said,
by being pulled over, not pushed.
As to your testimony, Mr. Bella, that you personally witnessed somebody on a red tractor pulling a brush hog, do you have a date?
it's at the end of June. I don't remember the exact date, but it's the end of June.
End of June of 2025.
Yes.
Did you take any photos at that time of
No.
what you saw?
Didn't have my phone on me. No.
No photos, true?
Nope, true. All I've never seen it. Stood there and watched him.
After you saw it, what did you do next?
Came to the house and told my wife about it, and she sent her up. Tried to call her, she wouldn't respond. We can't get any communication from them at all. This problem would have been solved if they'd answered her phone or their texts or talked with us. There's been lack of communication. We've tried numerous of times to contact them, and they won't answer. Like I said, her husband stood out there and never even apologized that their big 25 by 25 foot metal building is laying on my carport roof. He never even said, I'm sorry. He just walked over there, had his guys to pull it back on their property, and walked off and never said a word.
Mr. Bella, I'm not talking about the carport. I'm talking about the fence and the tractor.
We
Do you
tried
have-
to contact them.
We've tried contacting them numerous
Do you
times.
have-
They won't respond. Yes, here, by mail, certified letters.
Okay. All right. I'll get to that in just a moment. Do you have any other evidence of the date of what you claim that you saw other than what you've already testified? That you believe it was toward the end of June of
It was
2020?
at the end of June. I don't remember the exact date. No,
Why do you remember it was at the end of June?
it was in the month of June, the end of June. My birthday is July the 30th, so I knew it was before my birthday.
So if it was before your birthday, isn't it true it could have been in the month of July?
No,
Nope,
no.
because it was before,
Where are you
The
going
flood.
with? I don't understand where you're going.
it was before the flood.
Okay, can I interrupt here, please? Ron and Karen, would y'all give the attorney the opportunity just to ask questions and please respond to the question directly without interjecting over one another?
Okay, yes, sir. Your Honor, sure will. Thank you.
Thank you, because I'm kind of losing track here in my mental notes.
Me too. Thank you.
All right. Counsel, go ahead.
I'm going to go to Exhibit 2, Your Honor, if you may. I'm going to share my screen. Can everyone see that exhibit, file marked Exhibit 2 there?
Yes.
The first page of this exhibit is a March the 3rd text message. I believe that's from you, Miss Bella, to Jackie Lopez. Is that what that looks like to you? This is your neighbor, Karen. You have a chicle over here. She is scratching holes in the mulch. Do you see that?
Yes.
Is that supposed to be chicken?
Yes.
I'm going to scroll through these a little bit more quickly than the photos, but there's some dialogue during the month of March about a storm and some trash, and we're cleaning it up, and you responded, thank you. Then in April, you text again about a chicken over here. Please smooth out the holes they have scratched out. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then again on Sunday, April 20th, you said the
Wait a
chickens
minute,
are
wait a
back.
minute. Did you see her response? It's not a big deal. Okay, go ahead.
Again on April the 20th, you texted her about chickens. Do you see that?
Yes. No, not really, because it's not coming up.
Are you able to see my screen, ma'am?
Yes, I see the red, and then it's nothing.
We can't see what I was read.
Yeah.
Her comment.
Now you're going to the next screen.
Okay. I don't know what's up with my share screen. There's another text that appears to be on April the 21st from you about your dog and your dog going onto their property and eating food. Do you see that?
Yes.
There's a photograph attached with a picture of a dog. Do you see that?
Yes. Now, scroll back down.
Whoa,
No,
back
you're
up,
going the wrong way.
back up.
There's a variety of communications about dogs and chickens. That's all I'm wanting to make is there's communications about dogs and chickens between the two of you in April. Do you see that?
I see that.
This is during April of 2025, I believe, because my clients purchased the property in June of 2024. So this is April of 2025, and we're almost to the bottom. There's a picture in June of 2025 of a picture of looks like the side of an RV with a circle on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles on it. Do you see those circles?
Yes,
That's mud.
that's mud that was slung over on it.
That's 6 circles of mud. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah,
some of it. Yeah.
yeah, we didn't photograph all of it.
The whole side of the trailer was covered in mud. It took me 8.5 hours to clean it.
The photo that you texted was a picture of 6 spots of mud. Is that true?
No, that's
Yeah,
not,
yes,
that's
that was-
true there, but that's not all that was on the RV.
Because if you look to the right of that picture, you can tell there's more pictures included. You see them
Ma'am,
to
just
the right?
Ma'am, please try to respond to my questions only, okay?
What, do you want me honestly to tell you truthfully? Yes, that is 6 of the multiple mud spots that was on that RV that are not being shown because you're not showing the back pictures. Okay, go ahead.
Again in June, a text about dogs. And then on July the 8th, a text about fences are down south of us. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
On July 19th, chickens everywhere. Chickens still scratching in front of the RV. Do you see that?
Yes.
July 22nd, chickens are back again scratching around the RV. July 27th, please turn the music down. We have a day sleeper that works for the sheriff's department. They deserve to sleep peacefully. Thank you. Do you see that?
And I see it would be greatly appreciated. Yes.
Again, a text appears to be July 27th. The chickens are back. This is getting really old. Do you see that?
Yes.
August the 7th, a photo of a chicken. Do you see that?
Yes.
Chickens are back again. Fix your fence. And then a text back, you damaged it. Do you see that?
Yes.
So that's a response from Jackie, is it not?
Yeah. Oh, that's not the fence at the back. That's the fence up here at the front where they put the nice, how many feet, the nice slat fence where they stopped it. They didn't tie it in. So that's where the animals are coming through. It has nothing to do with the back fence. Nothing at all. But when they built that fence, they didn't tie it in correctly. So the animals were getting through right there. So yes, their fence, their problem.
Wait a minute. I misread that, Miss Bella. I apologize. Fix your fence appears to be from Jackie.
Yes. She
Fix your
told me.
fence appears to be from Jackie.
Yes,
You responded, you damaged it. Do you see that?
you're right. She told me to fix my fence. I didn't do anything to my fence. They put up the wood fence and then didn't tie it in. We haven't done anything. They've done all the fencing, the new fencing that's been put are the pallets and then the slat fencing and then the cyclone fence.
I'm just trying to make it through this exhibit, ma'am.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to make it through because you're making it appear that it was the fence in the back. It was the fence up here when they put the big slat privacy fence. They didn't tie it in good, and it was
I went up there and tied my barbed wire fence into their 6-foot panel fence, and they untied it.
So that's not no.
Okay. I'm just trying to make it through these texts. Okay. So then you responded the fence where your dogs and chickens come through, your animals, your responsibility. It's that simple. Do you see that?
Yes, absolutely.
They will come back. Then on August the 7th, again, you damaged it, damaged once. This may be a repeat text.
Yeah.
August the 7th, you text, how about the damage they do? Do you see that?
Yes.
I believe these are the only text messages between you and Jackie Lopez. Okay. Do you believe there's additional text messages other than these?
Yeah. I believe they've been taken out because we have notified them.
You believe that there are other text messages between you and the defendants that are not included in what we just looked at. Is that right?
Yeah, I say yes.
Okay. I'm going to go to Defendant's Exhibit 3.
Okay.
And then I'm going to share screen. Okay. Are you able to see my screen? The photograph that looks out onto your property and the words before 10/3/2025 on the left. Do you see that?
Yes.
And do you see that picture of that log that lays on the fence line? Do you see that?
Yes.
And then the next page, I'm going to rotate it. It says cut and piled 10/3/2025. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then I'm going to rotate again. Page 3 of that exhibit says after 10/3/2025. And that's a photo of the fence line between your two properties and the tree is gone. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, that's the end of Exhibit 3. I'm going to go to Exhibit 4. Can you see my screen now, Miss Bella?
Yes.
This is file marked Defendant's Exhibit 4. This is a screen from the Johnson County open records request showing a Inspector Don Mitchell for an infraction date of February 3rd, 2025. Do you see that?
Yes.
And do you see on the left where my cursor is, it says compliance date, September the 23rd, 2025. Can you see that?
Yes.
And the narrative says report of building structure or piling of materials in flood next to creek. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go to what's marked as Exhibit 5. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
This is an email. This Exhibit 5 is my email dated October 3rd, 2025 to you. Is that your email address?
Yes.
In that email, I said that I represent the Ortegas. In this petition, you allege that you sent, and I'm going to have to minimize my Zoom, you sent emails, texts, and letters to my clients. Please provide copies of any correspondence you sent to the Ortegas or anyone else related to your complaint. Second, you contend that you are seeking $6,020 for cost of debris removal. Please provide any evidence of expenses you have incurred for debris removal for which you seek recovery in this suit. Finally, in your lawsuit, you attach a picture of a tree trunk lying across a fence. My clients contend that tree trunk was washed across your property from the neighbor's land to the south during a flood in early July of this year. Regardless of their lack of fault, my clients have agreed to remove that tree trunk from the fence. Did I read that correctly?
Yeah, you read it correctly.
Did you receive my email?
Yes.
You did not respond to me or call me, did you?
I sent the stuff to the court.
Ma'am, my question is, and I may have missed it, but I didn't receive an email response or a telephone call from you.
No, you did not.
We didn't know
You
who
did
you
not.
was.
No, we did not respond to you.
Okay, I'm going to go with Defendant's Exhibit 6. And this is my final exhibit. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
These are 10 pages of an open records request to Johnson County Constable District 1 that is managing the environmental report on my client's property. And the reporting officer is Michael Smith. Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
And the charge and the offense is listed as public nuisance. Do you see that?
Yes.
And I'm going to, page 2 of this exhibit lists the subjects are Jacqueline Lopez and Ronald Bella. Do you see that?
Yes.
And I'm going to page 4, which is an incident narrative. The first paragraph says that this is in reference to a public nuisance and water code violation reported by the neighbor. Would you see that?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure do.
So on July the 9th of 2025, did you, Mr. Bella, or you, Mrs. Bella, call the county to report a public nuisance on my clients?
Not a public nuisance.
Not a
No.
public nuisance, no.
No.
We reported damming up a flood zone.
Yeah.
That's
Not a
what-
public nuisance. No.
And all these people you're talking about come out here, they all told me they were in charge of flood zone. And at the end, they said, we're going to dismiss your case because we're not in charge of flood zone. I said, but that's what you told me you was here for. And they have dammed up several hundred feet of flood zone. But it's not Johnson County's responsibility. They dismissed the case.
I'm looking through the narrative
Yes, sir.
for a discussion that Deputy Michael Smith had with you, with Miss Lopez, and I'm at the bottom of page 5 of this exhibit where my cursor is, that Miss Lopez related that the neighbors complained that she stained her side of the fence but not theirs and wanted it done. Do you see that?
Say that again?
It says that Jackie related that the neighbors complained that she stained her side of the fence, but not theirs, but not ours, and wanted it done.
I never said that. I asked her husband, I asked Jackie's husband, would it be okay if I stained this side of the fence? And he said, most definitely. He said, matter of fact, I may have some stain left. I didn't request him to do it.
Okay. Do you have any other knowledge about this environmental complaint? And this is the Exhibit 6, case number 2500071.
The only thing I have to say about that is it hasn't got anything to do with the fence. This is a completely separate incident.
Yeah.
It totally has nothing to do with the damage to the fence.
Mr. Miss Bella, I'm going to let counsel go ahead and present this because I believe counsel is trying to show that in his reporting today, that along that fence line, there has been some issues that has been brought up in this investigation by the Sheriff's Department and Johnson County Public Works on the public nuisance complaint. So if y'all can let him go ahead and present his case, I'm going to give y'all an opportunity here in a few moments to review or rebut any of that information that he's wanting to present today. Counsel, if you go ahead and continue, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. and Ms. Bella, you do not have any evidence apart from your testimony, Mr. Bella, that my clients damaged the fence. Is that true?
We only have the eyewitness, Ron. That's all we have. And God above. That's all we have.
And you have no evidence of any monetary damage amount that you're going to seek to ask this court to award. You don't know what the damages are to the fence because you filed no exhibits. Is that true?
No, because I did file an estimate from a fence company, and I believe it was 34. Let's see if I can find it here. Yes, it was from, and I sent it to you, from Ruben Gonzalez, Wild Horse and Lane in Joshua, and it's for materials of $620 plus tax and labor price $2,400. It is 80 pounds of concrete, $6 each, need 3. Cattle fencing, T-post clips, barbed wire, 3-inch square tubing, 1 7/8 tubing. Yes, and I sent it to the court. There it is.
Ms. Bella, I don't recall receiving that. When do you believe that you filed that?
Right after I filed the suit, because I sent it to the court and I said I inadvertently left this out and sent it to the court. Yes, sir, I did.
So do you believe that document is a document that you filed in an amended complaint?
No,
Shortly.
amended to the complaint, not a different complaint. No, it just, I didn't put it in there. And this was Tuesday, September the 16th is when we had the gentleman come out. So the actual cost is $3,020. And it's nowhere, it would be nowhere near that if he had just talked to us.
What do you believe it would be? What do you believe it would be if it would be different than that amount?
I have no clue.
What amount of fence needs to be repaired in your opinion?
In my opinion, it's going to be $3,020. For someone else to come out and do it, yes. For someone else. For them to do it, they're landscaping and they have all kind of equipment. They could do it basically for the cost of the material. Because they have all the equipment. We don't.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, counsel. Mr. Miss Bella, do you have anything else you wish to add to the court on your presentation today on damages you're alleging against this client?
Yeah, I just want to make certain that I did see it happen. It was before the flood, and I've never seen, even to say, I've never seen water bend over T-post, never. And there's never been no water ever in 30 years on that side of the creek until they dammed it up on their side. That's all I've got to say. I would like to have restitution for repairs of the fence and court cost.
Well, that's all we ask is the fence be repaired or replaced and the court cost. So, I mean, if the T-post and the wiring is still good, they can use it. We've even offered in the past to provide the wiring in the T-post on the front fence, but nope. So just repair my fence and pay the court costs. That's all we're asking.
Thank you. Counsel, any recross?
No recross, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ron and Karen, are you resting at this time? Anything else y'all want to present?
No.
No.
All right, so I take it you rest your case.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, direct.
Your Honor, the defendants would call Jackie Lopez to testify.
Ms. Lopez, you have already been sworn in. If you would, any testimony given today, just direct it or answer it directly as asked, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Counsel, go ahead.
Ms. Lopez, what's your relationship to the defendants?
I'm their daughter.
Do you live on their property there at that location?
Yes, I do.
Do you have personal knowledge of the events that are alleged and the circumstances of the events that have been described between the plaintiff and the defendants since about February of 2025?
Yes.
Do you have personal knowledge of your parents' acquisition of the property back in June of 2024?
Yes.
Did you have communications with the prior owner of the property, John Flippin, close to the time that your parents purchased that property?
Yes.
What was the substance of your communications with the prior owner, Mr. Flippin?
Your Honor, that's totally irrelevant.
Hold on one second, Ron. Are you objecting to that question?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, what's your legal objection?
that has nothing to do with this. Nothing.
Hearsay.
Hearsay.
Counsel, they're arguing hearsay. Can you give me an argument why you want to go down this line of questioning?
I'll move on, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir.
Ms. Lopez, you heard the Bellas testify about their contentions of their theory of liability being a person on a red tractor with a brush hog in June of 2025 damaging the fence. Did you hear that testimony?
Correct.
You believe that testimony is true or not true?
It's not true.
Why?
They would have texted me about that. They could have told me that they saw someone down there with a red tractor. They did not send me no message, no phone call. I can take out phone records. My workers know not to mow down there. That's why it has a lot of weeds and the grass is very tall back there, just because I do not want them to get near that fence, just because we know how they are.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, everything bothers her. Anything, the chickens, the noise, just really anything. So I just prefer my workers not to go down there and do anything. That's why I have a lot of the grass is very long, the weeds and stuff. Just.
Let me ask you about that log that was photographed in the exhibits before. Do you know where that log came from?
Yeah, it came from the stream,
Objection.
from the
How
neighbors.
do you know that?
Hold on. Karen and Ron.
Yes.
George has the
Yes,
floor.
sir.
He's asking his questions of his witness. If you want to object, give me a legal objection. You might disagree with what she's stating, but she has the right to give her testimony. You have the right to
Okay.
object on legal grounds. You do not have the right to object if you're contending that what she's saying is not true. You come back on your rebuttal and you bring that up at that point in time. Okay, ma'am?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. I'm giving them the opportunity to be heard. And Jackie and Belinda, if somebody raises an objection, please don't answer it until I've ruled.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, go ahead and proceed.
Jackie, do you have an opinion of where that log and those photographs and those exhibits came from?
Yes, it was from their neighbors. I have my kids playing back there on sand. And if you zoom into it, you can see the log just laying there. It's a long, long log that it's really noticeable. You know, with the stream of water, the flow of it, it stopped on the barbed wire.
And is it your opinion that because that log was washed over the Bella's property onto your property, that's consistent with your theory of what damaged the fence? Is that true?
That's true.
What is your theory of what damaged the fence?
An act of God of the heavy storm that we had, the flood zone. It was a flood warning that we had in July. I think it was around 4th of July, 5th of July when that happened. We had, you know, flood zone, the flood
Warning.
warning everywhere here in Johnson County. And when that happened, a lot of debris came onto my property and it stayed on the barbed wire. It got stuck in the barbed wire. And that's where the log came. It just stopped on the barbed wire.
Okay, You remember Exhibit 2 that we went through about a half hour ago with the text messages about the dogs and the chicken in the mud?
Yes.
What was your take on those text messages and that string of communication with the plaintiff?
You know, whenever that happened, she could have texted me. If they're stating that they saw someone on a red tractor, she could have texted me. She could have had the proof there that someone was driving a tractor and pulled that she's stating the T-post. She could have texted me.
Do you have any reason to believe that there are any text messages or emails between the plaintiff and either your mom and dad or you that are not included in Exhibit 2?
My dad doesn't have an email. I've checked my mom's email, spam, everything, all of her mail, everything. I checked everything. If she knows her email, if she knows my mom's email, she could have sent her an email and I could have, read it. She only texts me. That's the only thing. And then the letter she sent to my husband and I, that's when, we saw what she was saying. But if she would have texted me stating that, Ron just saw this, you need to go check it out. Okay, I would have gone and checked it out. I don't want to have problems with them. But that never happened.
I have a letter dated September 1st, 2025, addressed to you that is not an exhibit. It's signed by Ron Bella, and it discusses the fence and repairing and replacing the fence that crosses the creek. I did not make that an exhibit, but is that the only letter that you're aware of, physical letter coming through the mail that either you or your mom or your dad or your husband received from the plaintiffs?
That's correct.
September the 1st, 2025,
That's
right?
correct. Yes.
Now that log in Exhibit 3 with the before and after photos, you cut it up and removed it off the fence line, true?
True.
Despite the fact that you didn't put it there, true?
True.
Now, there have been complaints by the plaintiffs to Johnson County, and there has been a floodplain citation opened with investigator Don Mitchell back in the spring of this year. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Did you have, on behalf of your parents, communications with Don Mitchell about the floodplain cleanup?
Yes. Constantly.
What was in the floodplain area, and explain what has been put there and what has been removed?
Well, they were some materials, like mulch, rocks. There was 2 trucks, but my husband moved them away 100 feet away from the flood zone. There was also a lot of mulch and trees from him cutting trees down there in the other side of the creek, but he removed everything since Mr. Don Mitchell told us, you have to remove everything so we can close the case. We did that, we followed everything.
Hold on one second.
I'm sorry.
Folks, I'll tell you what, let me take a short recess. Ron, I'm gonna give you and Karen an opportunity to just take a break, breathe for a minute, and then we're gonna come back. Give me 5 minutes, folks.
you.
All right, counsel, thank
You can't do that.
you. Karen and Ron, mute yourself, please.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Karen and Ron, are y'all with me still? Karen?
Okay, finally got it.
Thank you. All right, counsel, you were asking your client some questions, and go ahead and continue with that.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Lopez, do you recall about an hour ago we were going through the exhibits 1 through 6 with the Bellas, and one of those exhibits was Exhibit 4, and I'll share screen with Exhibit 4. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
And this is Exhibit 4, which is the floodplain citation CE 25-00031 with Don Mitchell. Do you see that?
Yes.
And there's a compliance date of September the 23rd, 2025. Do you see that?
Yes.
And so you were testifying earlier about your work with Don Mitchell to remove items from the floodplain that have been put too close to the floodplain. Do you recall that?
Correct.
And that all has been cleaned up and the case has been closed with no citation. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Now, on citation 25-000071, the environmental with Michael Smith. Do you see that, Exhibit 6?
Yes.
What is the status of that environmental case?
He will be out here tomorrow, just to see everything, hopefully to close the case since we are working with him. just trying to keep everything clean and more organized, and that's what we're trying to do. So hopefully tomorrow we'll close it.
Now, do you know who instigated the floodplain case and the environmental case?
Yeah, the Bellas.
Do you recall Mr. Bella testifying about your dog earlier?
Yes.
Do you keep your dog tied up?
I keep one of them tied up because she likes to wander. My Doberman, he will stay near her with my Great Dane. So I have one tied up. The other one was, he listens, he stays on the property.
Do you have any concern of your dogs going onto the Bella's property?
Yes, I'm scared that they will shoot him just because he's a big dog, but he's the sweetest dog there can be.
Why would you be concerned that the Bellas would shoot your dog?
Mr. John Flippin had tenants that, their dogs were shot due to Ron.
Objection, Your Honor, please. That's hearsay.
I mean, she's already answered the question. If you want to say it's hearsay, she testified it as a direct answer from what Mr. Flippin has said, and I think it is general knowledge that animals that have ventured onto the property have been euthanized. Am I correct?
No,
No,
absolutely not.
never.
Okay, so
I would like to know where that came from. I would like to know the report where that came from.
I think the testimony said that Mr. Flippin has made that comment that y'all had euthanized one of his animals before.
No,
No.
that's hearsay. You go to the court system.
That won't have any bearing on the court matter today because we're here today in reference to damage to fence, not to the.
Well, then let's don't make everything derogatory and bring things in that don't matter. We've never killed an animal. Never.
Counsel, if you can keep the questioning directly related to why there's a defense in relationship to the damage.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Ms. Lopez, during February and March of this year, did you and your parents go to an expense to build a wood privacy fence on the property line between you and the plaintiff's property?
Yes, we did do that.
How much of, and I'm envisioning a 6-foot high wood board plank privacy fence. Is that what you put up?
Yes, cedar board on board, 6-foot fence.
How long of cedar board on board fence did you put up on the property line between you and the plaintiff's property?
190 feet.
Do you remember how much money you spent on that fence, putting that fence up?
It was 14,000.
That's
Why did you do
irrelevant,
that?
Your Honor. Why are we going there? That has nothing to do with the case. I'm sorry.
Ron and Karen, if you want to object on a legal grounds of relevance.
Yes.
However.
Object. Irrelevant.
Okay. Counsel, the relevance in reference to this line of questioning.
Your Honor, this is a piece of evidence that is very material to the defendant's theory that they are a good neighbor that's being taken advantage of by a bully, that they have incurred a lot of expense in trying to work with and live with the neighbors, and the money that they've spent is over and above what a reasonable amount is to get along with the neighbors, and that the neighbors continue to push and will not stop pushing and will continue to push. And that's why the defense theory is relevant to what they've expended in trying to live with these neighbors.
Counsel, if you would use a better adjective in describing the plaintiffs in this case instead of listing them as bullies, please.
I understand, Your Honor. I will do so.
Do we get an apology for calling us something that we?
Or not?
The court's going to take judicial notice that you're not bullies. The line of questioning needs to be interpreted in a little bit more direct manner as to what their fear is and not what counsel's perception is.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right.
And Ms. Lopez, in addition to the board fence, did you or your parents put a chain link fence on the property line between you and the plaintiffs?
Yes, we did. It's more cost efficient for us.
How much linear feet of chain link fence did you or your parents put up on the property line?
It was 170 feet.
Do you remember what the expense was?
Irrelevant.
It was 3,500.
Hold on a second. It's again, Karen and Ron use the word objection. Don't say irrelevance until I get a chance to rule.
Okay, objection.
Y'all were given the opportunity to present your case with counsel doing interruption. Let him present his case, and when you do want to object, just say, Judge, objection, or objection, please. And then both
Okay.
sides stop any questioning or answers to the questions so I can rule. What is your legal precedence for the objection, ma'am?
Irrelevant to the case.
Counsel?
Your Honor, my response is the same, is that the plaintiffs have become difficult with the defendants, and as a response to the plaintiff's difficulty, they have expended a significant amount of money in building fences on the property line to protect their animals and as well as to protect the plaintiffs from neighbor disputes.
Okay.
That's relevant, Your Honor.
I can go ahead and with your question. I'm going to overrule your objection, Karen.
Ms. Lopez, do you remember Exhibit 2? And I'm going to go back to my screen share. I don't remember if it's up still. Exhibit 2 or the text message string. Do you recall that?
Yes.
With the text message string that we went through very quickly, beginning in March of 2025 and running through apparently August of 2025, what is your take on these text messages and the issues between you and Miss Bella?
Well, I responded damaged what?
Well, the whole string, the whole
Okay.
line of communication about chickens and mulch and dogs and mud.
So we figured out, we did the chain link just so the chickens can stop passing by. They were in the chicken coop for a while just because I did not want her to text me stating that the chickens were over there. So my husband did the chain link and I don't know, they kept on crossing over. I don't know from where. But the front part where she's stating that we're going through, every single time my husband would do the fence, Ron would remove his T-post and the fence that he had up. So of course they were gonna, find a way to get onto their property, but that was because Ron would move the T-post and his fence.
What?
Um,
Oh, get out of here.
and that's when they would go. And that's when the animals would go onto their property. And all the other text messages, of the dogs. I mean, I try to keep when my dogs get really excited, they wander around and everything. So, when that happened, I called them and I tied the Great Dane back up. And that's when, if I tie her up, the Doberman does not wander at all. I mean, her dog would come over as well. And it's just an animal, like if he does the restroom, I'll pick it up. It's okay. I never complained to her or anything when, their animal would come. And, I apologized when the chickens would go over there. I mean, they're chickens, they're birds. And, I had to build this fence just so the chickens can stop going to the property, just so she can stop, texting me. But I mean, go ahead.
In your opinion, have you and your parents and your husband tried to be good neighbors to the Bellas?
Yeah, I mean, I built the fence just so they wouldn't see all the stuff we have on the property. I tried and have a relationship with them. When Ron would, drive by, we would wave at him and, like hopefully, if they needed anything or anything.
Yeah.
But we would take them food and stuff. And I mean, I don't know. I try to keep a good relationship with them until it got to a certain point of them calling the city, the state, the environmental, Mr. Smith. So
Have you had a reasonable or an unreasonable experience with the Bellas as it relates to their complaints?
not reasonable.
Was the mud that was sprayed onto the RV that big of a deal?
It was an accident. The guys got stuck in the mud and, they lost their traction on the mud. And, it was an accident. We did not meant to do that. I mean, I don't want to have problems with them. And once I saw that, I'm like, man, I'm just going to get another text message and she's going to complain. It was a splash of mud. It couldn't have taken him 8 hours to clean mud off of the RV and the other pictures. It was just a little splash of mud so small on his tractor. Like my guys didn't mean to do that. It was an accident.
Do you believe that their letter on September the 1st asking you or your husband or your parents to pay to replace the fence on the creek was a reasonable request?
No,
Why not?
I mean, we didn't cause the damage. It was an act of God. It was water. It was the force of the tree trunk, how heavy it was. It pushed on the T-post with the force of water, all the debris that's in the creek.
Okay, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Karen or Ron, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I sent you a certified letter on August the 18th, just asking, please repair or replace the fence. It was not claimed. It was sent back to us. Then,
Is this a question for one of the?
why did you not, why do you say that you did not know it when you didn't, when you refused any kind of communication with us?
Karen, if we received that letter, we would have opened it. We never received it.
It was unclaimed by the post office. I have it right here. The address is correct. Everything is, I mean, it hasn't even been opened. When it got sent back to me,
If the post office,
I didn't open it to prove what was in the letter. And it was sent to your mailbox and they left notices. They left the little pink card. So why did you not claim it? I mean, we had no way of communicating.
Let her answer the question, please.
Okay.
You never received it.
we never received it. The mailbox is so far that whenever we get home from work or whatever, I'll go check it. We never received a letter.
Our gate is
Wait a
closed.
minute, but my gate.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Ortega, Ms. Lopez, only one person answer, please.
Sorry.
Do I have a locked gate on my property?
Yes,
Do I have a locked gate on my property?
yes, you do.
Okay. People come down my property all the time, correct?
I guess.
They come through my gate because I unlock it or they have the code, correct?
I'm not sure, but
Well, you always see cars going up and down my driveway.
okay.
Now, the only way they can get in is to have the code or us to let them in. I receive certified, do you receive Amazon packages on your property?
They leave them on my gate.
So did you not receive the little post-its that the post office leave for certified mail? Did you receive those?
I did not.
So you're saying the post office,
Karen, she's already answered the question. Move to your next question, please.
okay. So when you received that letter from September, why didn't you respond to us? Why?
I just decided it was better to get a lawyer involved.
But you didn't get the lawyer until after the lawsuit, correct? And this was sent before the lawsuit.
If you would have texted me that same day that Ron saw the tractor, a red tractor back there,
Now,
you
I'll
would
tell
have
you
had
what.
proof. You would have had
Hold
proof
on, I'm gonna interrupt.
that happened.
Hold on, stop. I'm going to interrupt. Ron, you have another outburst like that, I'm going to hold you in contempt.
Sir,
He's gonna hold you.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I was talking to my dog. Very sorry.
Ron, I will hold you in contempt on this Zoom call and you will come up to my court and stand before me in this courtroom. Do you understand?
I understand,
You interrupt a witness talking again. I will hold you in contempt. Do I make myself clear, sir?
Absolutely.
I've given you a lot of leeway today. I've given this case a whole lot of leeway because I know it's two neighbors. I want y'all to be able to communicate because at the end of this, you still have to live next door to each other. We've got to come to an amicable solution to this problem that we're having here. But you've got to prove your case today that there was damage to the fence. I allow both sides to get a little bit broad, but we need to get back on track to the damage question. Your wife is trying to get there, sir. Do not interrupt her again. Do I make myself clear?
I understand.
So lock it, zip it, put it in your pocket, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead, Karen.
it just went away. Did I not send you a text that we were looking at earlier about the chickens? Did I not send you a text about those?
Let's
Yes,
go
you
away from the
did.
chickens. Let's get to the part where the damage to the fence, because that's what this whole suit is about. Let's get back on that track. You were bringing that up just a second ago, Karen. So let's stay on
Okay,
that.
the point I'm trying to get at, Your Honor, is that the communication stopped when I asked her a question.
Karen, this is question and answer. You're cross-examining, okay? If you don't have any more questions for her, that's fine.
Okay, I do.
All right,
Okay.
ask your questions, please.
You stated that we took up the fence when you put up the wooden fence. So why do we need two fences? Why would we leave the one on our side when you had put up the nice wooden fence? And you said that why would we not be able to take that up? You were stated that Lonnie removed two T-posts. Why would we not do it?
Well, because I have animals. You could have left it.
We
Were you expecting us to just do a whole board on board cedar down to the front of the property? You could have waited. You could have.
Sorry, I apologize.
Give her a chance to answer your question, please.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I mean, Ron was removing your fence while we were doing the fence. You guys could have left it until we either figured out what we were going to do to finish the fence all the way to the front of the property, but you guys didn't. Every single time my husband would put up a panel, you would remove it. Every single time.
What do you mean by that?
The fence, whenever my husband would build the fence, Ron would remove the T-post and the metal fence that you had on the property.
So are you saying that once the wooden fence was put up, that all the fencing from the end of the wooden fence out to the street was removed and there was no fencing in between?
Well, I had to put pallets for now, so my chickens or my dogs wouldn't go onto your property.
That's not what I asked. Was there ever a time that there was no fencing at all between the nice privacy wooden fence and the street? Or was the fencing removed after the pallets were put up?
It was removed after the pallets were put up.
Okay. Now, we wanted to be good neighbors. So what made you feel it was okay to give us food after we mowed the front of your property?
I don't even recall you mowing the front of my property, ma'am.
Okay.
And we, as people that were doing a cookout, my mom was like, okay, let's just go meet them. It was the September 21st for my dad's birthday. We're like, okay, just go give him a plate of food because you guys had people over. And my mom, how she loves to give. So she was like, okay, just go give him food. Okay, and that's what I did, just because of how we are, how we are. That's just the way we are. If I see anyone walking down the street and needs food, I'll give them food.
Okay,
Not
did
Okay.
we not?
I'm going to redirect everything here. Okay, we've gotten totally
Yes.
from the main suit. The main suit is damaged to fence and y'all are requesting that they fix it. So what other questions you want to bring in to this witness so we can hurry this up?
I agree, Your Honor. Sorry. Were you there when this happened? Did you see it or not see it?
What happened?
The fence with the red tractor?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
But you could have texted me that same
No,
moment.
did you see it? Yes or no?
No, Karen.
Okay. Could it have happened? Because just because you didn't see it, could it have happened?
I don't know.
So do you think it's fair, as in my letters, to repair it or replace it?
We didn't cause the damage, so no.
How do you know your workers didn't? Were you there? Again, were you there?
No.
Okay.
Do you have proof?
I have as much.
Ma'am, let her ask the questions, please. That's what your attorney's for, is to ask you questions, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Did you respond to any of my text or any of my mail or any form of communication? Did you respond at all about anything?
No, I did not. I did to some.
Okay. Concerning this fence, did you ever respond to me or to Ron?
No.
That's all. I don't have any more.
Thank you. Counsel, redirect.
Briefly, Your Honor.
Okay, real quick, please.
This lawsuit was filed on September the 30th. Do you understand that to be true, Jackie?
Yes.
The letter that we've discussed was dated September the 1st. Do you remember that?
Yes.
But prior to September the 1st, had you had at least 7 months of dialogue and back and forth with the plaintiffs that resulted in a frustration that you felt, which adds to why you did not respond to that September 1st letter?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any other questions for Jackie Lopez, Ms. Bella?
Yeah. Ron has a question.
Ron, one question, please.
It's not a question, it's a statement, Your Honor.
We're not making statements at this
Yeah,
time.
question.
Okay.
Only questions, please.
Did you go back there and look? The grass is still cut down where he was on the tractor. Did you go back there and look? You said you said you did not allow your.
You didn't?
You just, hold on a sec. One person at a time. She answered the question. She said no. Next question.
Okay.
I don't have any further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, redirect.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Counsel, anything else on behalf of your presentation or on behalf of your clients to this court?
Your Honor, I don't know if you're asking the defense to close, but I would like to assert objection to the plaintiff's damage evidence. I did not receive it. I sent an email specifically asking for it. It was not filed 5 days before this hearing as required by the trial notice. If it was originally filed, I didn't receive it. That's why I sent the email. So I would object to that discussion. It was not entered into evidence or offered as evidence, and I think it should be excluded because the plaintiffs never responded to me. That's the only objection I would make during the defense's case, Your Honor. I'm anticipating making a short closing statement after the defendant's case, and the defense does rest and close.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ms. Bella, do you have anything on rebuttal that you wish to add to your case?
No.
All right. Counsel, in closing, what do you wish to say? Hold on a second. In reference to your ruling, I'll make or your objection. I am going to take your objection and not allow the evidence that is presented of the documents due to the plaintiff's failure to submit to those documents to you as required by the Texas rules and the rules of this court, since we're on Zoom call or Zoom presentations. So I will not take that into consideration, only the verbal amounts that they've asked the court if I rule in their favor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Go ahead with your closing statements, George.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I don't know if I heard correctly or not. Did the plaintiffs waive a closing?
They rested their case. Am I correct, Ron and Karen? Nothing else?
Just a closing statement.
Okay. So yes, sir, Mr. McElroy, if you would just present your closing statement this time.
Your Honor, my clients did not cause the damage to the fence. Mr. Bella's testimony is not reliable because it does not have any corresponding communication to corroborate it. There had been a series of dialogue text messages between the plaintiff and the defendant from February of 2025 all the way through to August of 2025, but there was no communication about damage to the fence until the September 1st letter, which is after the July 2025 rain event. And so my clients are not liable for causing the fence damage. The flood in July caused the.
Y'all got the wrong cat. It ain't me you looking for. I ain't did nothing to nobody. Ouch. You holding my arm too tight. Garfield. Ouch. Garfield.
Do you know Linda?
Yeah.
Did you bite her?
No.
You're on camera biting her.
Fuck.
We're gonna have to lock you up now.